I'm just going to pull up this scene, which does have desktop audio.
Now we have audio. Yes, we
Okay.
do. We are here at Speedrunners Arena, and we welcome you here to this pair of one-on-one races. We have, well, as you can see on screen here, we've got CheeseReaver against Croy, and we have Belthasar against Glaucio Souza. Alongside Invarial, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we appreciate your patience as there were some last-minute changes behind the scenes, but it looks like we are ready to get underway very shortly here. So this is week 2 of the Swiss rounds of the SMRAT tournament, the Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament. And CheeseReaver and Croy, they are 0-1. They're looking for their first victory thus far. And Belthasar and Glaucio, they are both looking to remain undefeated, although only one of them will by the end of this evening.
And the gate has been dropped. They are off.
So pretty standard in the beginning here. They're all going to run over to the left with no power items of note other than their little pea shooter. They are going to make their way down where the morph ball is in a guaranteed location. And you'll see varying skill levels, and that's what's good about the Randomizer Accessible Tournament. Everything is within logic, but you will see a few of the players do some various logic-breaking things, like CheeseReaver on the top there doing what's known as a moonfall, for example. And that allows for a quicker fall down that lengthy tower. So the object is to defeat Mother Brain, the final boss, and they're looking to do so as quickly as possible with whatever they feel is the appropriate balance of resources, as all of our runners getting their morphing ball to get things started here. So that will allow them to roll into a ball, which they could not do previously. Now, our first item along the way, sometimes it's bombs, sometimes it's power bombs. This time around, it's a super missile over in Construction Zone. So things are going to be pretty neck and neck in the early going, so the top racers are against one another, and so are the lower racers, at least I believe so here. So in the ceiling, we have power bombs. That is an out-of-logic check, as normally you need space jump or high jump boots to be able to acquire those. And then we have the missiles as well, just to the right, as they would normally be. Yeah, exactly, logic. It's merely a suggestion. So we have CheeseReaver is going to go up to what is known as Billy Mays because there's a hidden item, but wait, there's more. Exactly, guidelines. That's a good way of putting it there, old man sunshine. So in the back of Billy Mays, we have missiles and a reserve tank. Not exactly ideal. Meanwhile, we have Spazer over on Belthasar's side in the, I believe that's the Blue Brinstar power bombs. And we thank you, Jay Chalk, for the raid. Welcome on in. As the race just got started a matter of moments ago, and we have missiles in old Mother Brain as well. So there's Spazer pickups on CheeseReaver's side as well as on the bottom right. Invarial is joining me on commentary, but Invarial's also working on the restream, so he's taking care of that at the moment.
I'm trying to get everything working. Apologies to everyone.
Oh, we've got plasma beam over at I believe that is the 230 spot, the last missile in the 100% run. So it looks like the beam's not going to be that much of a challenge in the early going. Spazer useful for all of about 30 seconds, maybe? So now we have Belthasar heading down into Bomb Chorizo. And we've got power bombs this time around, so no bonus fight content. So far, all of our runners pretty much taking the similar routes. We'll see where there will be a divergence. As we see Belthasar utilizing the Alcatraz escape, which saves a bomb or power bomb. That's something that's not expected of newer runners. So it's not necessarily in logic. You're not expected to do that, nor are you expected to do the jump here that Belthasar is doing to get up to the gauntlet area. So Belthasar going to provide a save at the base ship, and that also replenishes the energy, missiles, super missiles, and power bomb inventory. And more than likely make his way back up into the gauntlet for 3 potential item checks. Meanwhile, Glacio and CheeseReaver pretty much in lockstep. They're both going to get their plasma beams. And Croy now heading into Bomb Chorizo to pick up his power bombs. This is a pretty dangerous area the gauntlet is that Belthasar is in. Is that yellow liquid that you see there? That is acid. So for every moment that you set in there, your energy depletes, and there's not much energy to be had. And oh wow, we've got high jump boots up in the front of Gauntlet. So I would imagine to get that means space jump has to be at least somewhat nearby as far as the logic goes. And apparently my broadcast partner in Varial likes smoked Gouda. Who knew? It is rather delicious, I will say that.
I have not had a Gouda I haven't liked. They're all
there you go.
Pretty Gouda.
I was wondering whether it was going to go there. So yes, for those who just entered, Plasma was in the last missile location, the 230 as it is known. And in the back of Gauntlet, oh wow, we've got Gravity Suit and we have some Super Missile. So a lot of early finds here, and well, if we were going to put up a prediction as to which suit would be found first, looks like we're a little too late. So Belthasar making a lot of good plays here. In the Terminator spot, we have a set of missiles, as now CheeseReaver getting his high jump boots. And Croy going to take a look in the back and is going to be thrilled to see the gravity suit. And I have a feeling is going to make a beeline back for there. Already we're probably about 10 minutes in here, if that. And we've already found Spazer and Blue Brinstar. We found Plasma Beam, High Jump Boots, and Gravity all in criteria.
That is a lot of items to find in criteria.
Which is kind of a double-edged sword, as the access to the gravity suit, it opens up a lot of areas, and this is where we'll tend to see a divergence of paths, I would think. As now Belthasar heading into green Brinstar here and utilizing a mock ball. This is something out of logic to be able to do a check. Normally you need speed booster for it. And there are super missiles in their vanilla location of early supers. Before you ask, yes, this is randomized. Meanwhile, in the back, we have some more supers. We have some missiles. And we'll see what the power bomb reveals. It's some more power bombs. And I think I blinked and missed it, but I think that was a reserve tank underneath, and I don't think that that's going to be picked up by anybody. Well, thank you, Belthasar, for proving me wrong. I can sound foolish enough on my own, thank you very much. So Belthasar now going to head on down to the Edacoons area. And there are 3 checks down there. Firstly, we've got some missiles. And then behind the super missile door, we have some super missiles. So yeah, 10.5 minutes in now, and I think overall the early lead as far as efficiency in terms of checks has gone to Belthasar here, but everybody else not too far behind. Again, this is Belthasar against Glacio. They are both 1-0, and CheeseReaver takes on Croy. They are both 0-1, looking for their first victory here.
Okay, I think that's all of the technical issues resolved for now. To your point about Gravity Suit, several runners in this competition have complained that early Gravity Suit just opens up too much of the game. So your comments are spot on that they can just go anywhere except Lower Norfair or Upper Norfair.
Yeah, that does leave all of Wrecked Ship, potentially a good portion of Meridia. So there are some checks as now we head into Pink Brinstar over on Belthasar's side. And there are quite a few checks here. We're going to start up at the top, and the top missiles are vanilla in this case. Now let's see about the Pink Brinstar power bomb area here. Well, that's vanilla as well. We had plenty shaken up in the early going, so you gotta expect a couple of things to be in their standard locations.
Yep. There is only so much randomness random can be.
And we're not gonna see what is at the bottom yet, at least on Belthasar's side. Now we are, and it's some super missile.
And a reserve tank.
Location has another reserve tank. I think that's 3 of them already here, and we're not even, we're just 13 minutes in. So looks like CheeseReaver and Belthasar going for a Spore Spawn skip.
And Spore Spawn has super missiles.
I think we saw a very gallant effort, but a slight miss on what is known as Mission Impossible. As apparently there's a way to jump down, get the item, and jump back up before that break block closes away. Yeah, it's chat having a little bit of fun. Is that a DLC boss? Some would argue that. For newer players, they tend to run into it, and the Wavegate E-Tank is just a set of missiles going to be ignored on Glaucio's side. Now, that Wavegate glitch is something that requires a super missile and jumping up at a particular angle to be able to do. It's not expected of runners. It is definitely one of the things that is done out of logic. There'll be a few of the times that I say that this evening.
Just a couple, I'm sure.
Yeah. Some rare occasions, I suppose.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Right, I think all of the technical issues are resolved now. I think.
Alright, meanwhile, in the pipeway, we have some super missiles. So now CheeseReaver kind of leading the way into new and uncharted territory here. And we're now going to head over to what is known as Red Tower.
Red Tower is one of the first places that we'll see proper divergence.
Yep, some may climb Red Tower, others may head south, as CheeseReaver currently doing. And we're going to see here, it looks like we have super missiles in the Spazer vanilla location.
45 super missiles. That is a comfortable amount to be fighting Ridley with. Not enough for Mother Brain, but enough for everyone else.
So you may see our runners start to dial it back on collection of super missiles.
Yeah, I think it's still 3 or 4 more packs, but they're becoming less and less mandatory pickups.
And yes, chat noting that this Kraid fight that CheeseReaver is heading over towards is out of logic, as the high jump boots and gravity suit were both acquired in Gauntlet without any logical progression to do so.
There's Space Jump for Glacio Souza. That puts half of Gauntlet in logic.
Oh, and that was from climbing Red Tower. Okay.
Yep, we are a screw attack away from those items being in logic.
I missed what was in the what the other item was in the alpha room there. Good super missiles up in the. Is Mama Turtle hiding the goods? All right.
And we should be back.
Yes, we are. And holy smokes, we've got Varia suit up in Mama Turtle's location.
Yep, Varia and Bombs, you were saying.
Yeah, not too shabby at all. And we saw that the spooky missiles that Glacio was going after, that was a set of vanilla missiles, so that was quickly ignored. And now we get to get a gander at what is in Alpha. We saw earlier that the Alpha hidden missiles were Space Jump, and we've got missiles in the PB slot.
Yep, Glacio Sousa having a bit of Fantoon difficulty, needing to pop a reserve tank. And that super missile is going to enrage.
Oh boy. You hate to see it, folks.
You do. You hate to take the 10 damage per hit more.
have super missiles in the lava room, as picked up by Cheese, and Glacio going to take on and take out Fantoon over in the wrecked ship.
Yep.
Now, given everything we've seen, you wonder how much of wrecked ship's going to be explored, and how much of a time sink exploring a lot of it may be here, as we've already seen, well, quite a bit. We've seen the Varia suit, we've seen the bombs. Those are both in Meridia. I mean, I'm not sure, unless maybe Charge or Ice is up here. Those are probably the things that you're most hoping for. Possibly Wave Beam.
Possibly Charge, possibly Ice. But with a large amount of super missiles, a large amount of missiles, and 20 power bombs, I don't... Excuse me. I don't think that Cheese or the rest of our runners are going to be looking for beams.
Well, there is also, energy tanks, which we see one up here. That might be a good thing to look for, as that's only the second energy tank we've seen thus far.
And Mother Brain needs 3.
And we've got super missiles on the moat.
And Croy has seen Varia. And is making a few attempts at an infinite bomb jump to collect that Varia suit.
Certainly better at it than I. Meanwhile, she is already down in Lower North Air.
Yep.
Belthasar heading into wrecked ship, and meanwhile we've got power bombs up where the spiky death E-tank would normally be, for lack of the knowing the official phrase to what it is.
I believe that's just called the wreck ship E-tank.
Fair enough, and she's a man after my own heart, doing a Mickey Mouse check in its super missiles.
That's just super. Meanwhile, on the bottom left screen, Belthasar is fighting Fantoon.
Quite the variance here, as we have one person in wrecked ship, we have one in Upper North Air, one in Lower North Air, actually 2 in wrecked ship now.
You did predict that the routes were going to diverge.
I didn't know they were going to diverge this much.
I think you did.
Well, maybe I did. I just didn't want to admit or I don't know. All right, we have an
No spoilers, Firon.
up in the attic. And now Incroyable gonna give us a look here, or so we thought. Oh, go on, get up there. Oh. Some timely jumps here to try to get back.
I do not care what other people say. This room is my worst room in the game.
Gets back to the top. All that for an E-tank.
Those things are precious in this seed.
They indeed have been at a premium thus far. That is true. And Oh, geez. One E-tank, and I don't know how many reserves you've got on hand there, but you're braver
Cheese took
than
a
I.
save. So if he takes a death here, it'll be easy to recover from.
It won't be super costly.
Right. I think it's safe to say between him and Croy, he's definitively in the lead.
Yes, that is a safe bet at this point, or a safe presumption. As the missiles in the sky bring an energy tank, so now we're starting to see them a little bit.
CheeseReaver fighting Ridley in the upper left.
And Glacio, meanwhile, about to go bowling.
I really wish that the randomizer people would fix the physics on this guy. Halfway through the walk, he just trips and falls through the floor, and it doesn't make any sense.
And a little bit of a, I was looking at the replay to see what was behind Ridley, and I see that it was a reserve tank, so little ammo shot at it, understandably so. And hey, French vanilla speed booster.
Ooh. That is a nice find for Croy.
We see missiles at the gravity spot. Thank you, chat, for that.
And CheeseReaver is making his way out of Lower Norfair.
Okay, we have supers at the wave missiles.
Outside
check.
wave.
Ooh, grapple beam at the Firefly Funhouse.
And more E-tanks. Roy finding an energy tank at the wave beam.
Chat saying always count on Croc. Oh, alright, we got some super missiles in the Lower Norfair Escape PB room.
We have an energy tank at Wreck Ship Reserve, which we might have already seen.
Possibly, although I will admit I missed it, so I'll fill that out in my proverbial bingo board here.
B-14, by the way.
Yes, okay. And we've got supers in the bubble green door, and now we're going to take a look at the Norfair Reserve. We've got spring ball and missiles.
Glacio coming very close to popping the reserve tanks on those spikes, and is rewarded with a missile.
Missile in X-ray.
But the thing I'm wondering is if Cheese is going to collect any items in Norfair, and it looks like yes.
There have certainly been some looks. I see we had the super missile. As part of the escape.
Speed or ice and a couple of energy tanks, but yes. And Belthasar is going ID clip bowling.
Let's see, PBs and Three Musketeers. I missed that.
And Croy is doing the lava dive. Ooh. Goes for the gravity jump but gets hit by a fireball.
Those things are relentless.
Unless you have Ice Beam, then they relent a little bit.
This is true. Ice Beam, I believe, still at large, unless there's something I miss.
I believe it's still MIA as well.
I mean, based on everything that I've checked here, there aren't too many places.
There's Speed Booster for Cheese. So, based on the notes that you're taking, where do you think Ice Beam is?
Oh, goodness. Well, the highest odds look to be somewhere in Meridia, based on the checks that we've seen. I mean, there is a good possibility it could be in Crockmire, which, knowing how trolly the seeds can sometimes be, it's a good possibility. There's also, there's also GT. There's 3 checks there. I don't know if we saw the PBs of Shame.
I don't recall. But it looks like Incroyable is going to be checking GT.
Well, it's certainly a heads-up play. It's something that's out of the norm, and all right, the normal screw attack location has missiles.
Can Croy get out of here without fighting Gold Teresa? With bomb jumps, yes.
And Glacio picking up screw attack. Meanwhile, back into Meridia for Cheese.
Somehow I don't think that's allowed, Old Man Sunshine.
Alright, so we're going to skip the yellow Meridia checks and head on here into Aqueduct. And we'll get a look at 2 items up here. We've got an E-Tank.
Nice find.
And some supers.
Safety find.
Yeah, up to 80 super missiles in the potential inventory.
And Croy is out.
Looks like we've got a bot wound fight coming on Cheese's side. Glacio taking a save. And Croy heading over to... Oh, yes, this crumble room.
Screw attack makes these pillars easy.
It does.
Space jump would make them easier, but...
Blinked and missed Cheese taking care of bot wound.
It was a pretty simple fight.
And I had to pause and review. It looks like there were super missiles. While speeding through.
That is an easy item to miss while you're watching 4 people play the game at once.
It's definitely a blink and you miss it type scenario. And
It's much easier if they don't find speed.
It absolutely is. And she's opting to skip X-Ray that was in that pre-Dragon missile.
Yeah, they call those the precious missiles.
Precious missile.
Legend has it, someone was asking, did you check the previous room, but mistyped? And so...
Alright, we're not going to see a check behind Dragon on Cheese's side.
Not terribly surprised.
And Glacio heading into Mama Turtle is going to be very thrilled to see the Varia suit. Oh, Belthasar, I did not realize, is doing what's known as a hell run. No Varia suit, but going into the heated areas here.
Yep, not required at all in SRA logic.
No. Not even in the slightest.
I think we can both agree that hell runs are not accessible.
Not accessible, they're barely acceptable.
That's true, Old Man Sunshine. That is a very true caveat. $21 energy for Croy, taking the pre-Ridley save.
And Cheese gonna make his way out of Meridia through the somewhat secret upper pipe and get out right at the top of Red Tower.
As long as Cheese remembers to go right up here and not skip Fantoon, this should be a pretty easy rest of the seat for him.
That would be interesting, and we've got to look here at the power bombs of shame, and it's vanilla this time. trying for a little speed swag, it looked like.
Yep, trying for Ocean Fly. And got Ceiling Bonk instead.
But also of note, Cheese doesn't have Space Jump.
Nope. He skipped all of Red Tower. But given what Cheese has left to do, I don't think Space Jump matters.
At this point, now probably not. That is a rather safe bet here. So for those just joining us, welcome on in to Speedrunners Arena. Alongside Invarial, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we have had a couple of interesting one-on-one matchups here. The Plasma Beam was in the 230 location, so it was a pretty early find. High Jump Boots and the Gravity Suit were in Gauntlet. Also, we had, well, prior to that, the Spazer in the Blue Brinstar Powerbomb location, but that was useful for all of about 30 seconds. The Alpha Hidden Missiles had Space Jump. The Crane E-Tank Room had Screw Attack. And the Varia suit was in the Mama Turtle E-Tank location in Meridian.
To clarify, that's the Alpha Powerbomb Hidden Missiles, right?
Oh, did I have that flipped? Alpha Powerbomb. Correct.
You just said Alpha Hidden Missiles.
Oh, I did, didn't I? I thought I had said Powerbomb, but I skipped over my words.
All good. All good. We have two boss fights happening on the top half of your screen. On the left, Cheese is taking on Phantoon, which both bottom runners have beaten. And on the right, Croy has just defeated Ridley.
And yes, since there's a lot of discussion about it in chat, Spring Ball was found in Norfair Reserve.
Found and ignored.
Shame of it not. But my jump and rolling into Morph Ball skills are not that great, so I will take Spring Ball anytime in a heartbeat.
It is a fun trick to practice, and it's easier the higher the jump is.
So Belthasar is going through some interesting options here, trying to find Varia, I guess, but Varia can't be in this location.
It could be in the room Belthasar just left.
Oh,
But we all know that it's not.
yeah.
And with the Elite Four down, CheeseReaver is heading down Victory Road. Or going to Turian or something.
Balthasar heading over into the Brockemeyer area. We're, oh, nope, doing a bit of a turn here. Oh, going to the energy tank refill. Ah, very savvy.
Yeah.
And now is going to Croc area. For those who wanted to always bet on Croc, let's see what your wager is here. Gosh, I feel like Ken Jennings. Who's doing a fantastic job attempting to, as best he can, take the place of the late Alex Trebek on Jeopardy.
I'm glad that Ken is doing a decent job.
Alright, so the Crocky tank is vanilla. CheeseReaver now heading into Torian.
Yep. 49.20 into Turian. Suggests a sub 1 hour seed.
Which is not common, but from what I've seen over the course of the past almost 2 weeks of this tournament, isn't exactly uncommon either.
Yeah, there are a lot of fantastic people good at playing this game with limited items.
If I sub 2 hours, it's an accomplishment, so it just goes to show. Well, at least this area of Croc isn't a heated area, so not really too many worries here on Belthasar's side, but definitely heading out of the way here.
And the question, of course, is what items can be down here?
Well, we saw the wave pick up on Belthasar's side in that upper left area beyond Croc.
Right.
And we'll take a look. There's two more checks that are here. Glacio, you were saying working on Ridley?
Yeah. Ooh. Cheese takes a very damaging hit and pops all of the reserve tanks. $70 energy going into the baby Metroid.
Perhaps trying to make the time from the baby Metroid as minimal as possible, and yeah, I'd say it should be fairly quick. Oh, look at that. It happened already.
Yep.
But yes, that was within a whisker of a potential death.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Cheese saved at the ship. I suspect he'll save again just before Mother Brain.
I would certainly hope so. Oh, Belthasar, no. No, don't go down to Lower North there. Oh, goodness. He's doing it.
Belthasar is just gonna hell run Lower Norfair.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Not in a
or
race.
Anywhere. Not in a race, no.
Croy lands that final super missile and takes down Baboon. I'm not sure how many reserves Croy has.
About to find out. 2 is the answer.
And Cheese, with 301 energy, cannot take a hit. There's a hit.
Oh.
CheeseReaver with 399 energy max.
Oh no! Belthasar
And
was hoping to
Belthasar takes
roll
it.
into the energy refill room and just missed it by that much.
Hmm.
And you can see this is the gamble that is taken when you get to this point and you want to try to go fast, and sometimes you just limit your resources a little too much and it can tend to cost you. And it looks like Belthasar has had enough of this proverbial fun and is opting to get out of the lower Norfair access here.
CheeseReaver takes down Mother Brain phase 1, has 34 energy to spare. And Croy misses the grapple hook.
Just laying super missiles in.
Dodging Mother Brain's food-based attacks.
To answer the question in the chat, Varia was in Mama Turtle in Meridia.
To you, Zero, I'm going to say I hope that you perform adequately, but I am not going to wish you luck against my brother.
Well, that is a fair assessment. It is now Belthasar heading into Meridia and is going to try to do the short charge. Oh, no, it's opting against it here. Main Street missiles being vanilla, we'll realize that's a good call. And now here is attempt number, I believe, 3 for Cheese.
Yep.
Margin for error is very slim. At this point, cannot afford to take a hit.
He did manage to dodge all of the attacks last attempt, except for that stray catch-up beam.
Oh,
and
no.
the French fry. Varia suit for Belthasar. Belthasar probably feels very behind here, but can now go back to Lower Norfair.
Yeah. And a little bit of a delay, possibly for some semblance of a profanity-laced tirade on Belthasar's part. At least I know that's what I'd be doing.
It's left versus right, Simo.
Yeah, so it is Cheese against Incroyable, and it is Belthasar against Glausio. And now there's the regular bombs. No, probably just more of a rage release, and now back at it.
CheeseReaver sitting at 13 energy, which means 12 potential damage.
So for all intents and purposes, has to do this perfectly.
Yep. And no.
And pop goes perfection.
And Croyable actually checking a bit of Red Tower.
Now, if you're Cheese at this point, is it just kind of the proverbial banging your head against the wall until you
have
go
to.
through?
You have to. The door where you see the baby Metroid is gray.
Oh, so this is the point of no return. See, I've never
Yes.
had to or attempted to double back after a particular point, so I did not know that this is a, for all intents and purposes, do or die or do or reset type scenario.
Yeah.
See, this is a game where there's always learning. One that you definitely want to get involved in.
I don't think the Rinkas have any drops. I think they might have had drops in the original Metroid, but not in this.
So they're just there to annoy.
I mean, it's a defense system.
Yeah. And
But
so
the
far
whole
it's
point is
working
to
pretty
kill
doggone
intruders.
good. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
As we've seen from the previous 5 attempts from Cheese.
The acid isn't helping either.
No, the acid, the beams.
The acid, the beams, the turrets, the Rinkos. The meatballs, the onion rings, the french fries, and the ketchup. None of it is friendly.
No, it's definitely not friendly food, and oh gosh. Dropping a bomb to be able to take care of that meatball as it is known. Oh, into the ketchup phase as it's also known. Able to dodge once again.
I think we're through.
I think so as well. It was almost about to charge in and realized, oh wait, I don't have to. Unbelievable.
If he had taken a knee at that point, that would have been some rage throwing controller across the screen.
I did not know you could bomb those things. That is good to know for the future. But apparently, as I'm being told in chat, that is a strategy that's used in low percent runs.
Yes. Also, the lower portion of me was definitely clenching during that part of the run.
I think there have been a few clenching moments, to say the least.
That would be a fair assessment.
And Chad making a note here, this isn't... Cheese isn't necessarily out of the woods here. Still has to do a bit of dodging and still has to with just those E-tanks, but at least the reserve is filled now, so there's a little bit more breathing room.
On the other screens, Incroyable just defeated Phantom. Belthasar is defeating Ridley. This cough sucks. And Glacio is wearing novelty hats.
Yes, working on the Metroids here, and you can see a very up-close strategy to try to prevent a lot of those beams and rings from being fired, trying to minimize the damage. And CheeseReaver takes out Mother Brain, and now it is just a matter of the escape.
The up-close and personal strategy also reduces the lag of the hyper beams being on screen.
So, a multifaceted benefit. I'm just realizing with that low energy, is Cheese going to be able to shine spark up through the tower climb?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, there will be enough energy to be able to withstand that. I wasn't sure because I've never really looked at my energy to see how much is utilized.
Yeah. And there.
But I'm also
At
not
least I
brazen. I'm also not brazen enough to go down with so little. Oh, that was interesting.
I think the crouch changed Cheese's position slightly, and as such, he collided with the platform instead of passing through it.
Huh. Well, I guess we won't find out.
We don't need to.
It's like the number of licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. The world may never
It's 3.
know.
Mr.
so
Owl
the
told us
owl.
that it's 3.
But that debate notwithstanding, get out your GGs for CheeseReaver, who's going to get a victory here over Incroyable with an official SRL time of 65 minutes and 6 seconds.
GG to you, CheeseReaver. I have no doubt that Cheese will be in here to join us for an interview.
So as we await that, we've got 2 more of our runners in Torian, in Glacio and Incroyable. Belthasar escaping lower there. Nice little ride of the enemy there to not have to fall. That was, I've never seen that before, and that was rather impressive.
And Glacio is going to do what Cheese probably should have. Head back and refill missiles. Yep, absolutely WGG.
I'm better at taking them than giving them, but yes, we're okay with giving interviews. So as the credits roll on Cheese's screen, I am curious as to the locations of Charge and Ice, since we didn't really out of those, but
10 minutes earlier.
Welcome, CheeseReaver. GG to you.
Thanks for the GGs.
that was
One
an
E-tank,
adventurous
and I
10
finished
minutes.
I finished that seed 10 minutes ago.
If you had returned to refill your missiles and your energy after taking down the 4 Zebatites, probably also 10 minutes sooner.
Yeah, wasn't even thinking about that one.
That's fair. What were you thinking?
Panic, sheer and utter panic. I figured I was good because I had the reserve, but then in that last room it popped my reserve. I was like, oh, that's bad. Because your reserves don't get refilled on an energy station, only the ship does that.
That's right. And the baby Metroid.
And baby Metroid. So it looks like Croy is on the baby Metroid, Glacio is on Mother Brain, and Belthasar is in Meridia?
Belthasar did not find
hell
Varia and did some hell runs, yes.
Oh, that would do it. Yeah. Wow. Okay, because I mean, I know Belthasar is a really good runner and has like great mechanics, but hell runs take a lot of time. There's just so much farming.
Yeah, and we were wondering where apparently were the goodies of Charge and Ice. Apparently, Yellow Meridia was holding those goodies.
So either the sand pits or maybe the beach.
Looked like one was the false wall, and the other,
False
can go back.
wall, I believe, is the beach. If the other one was Yellow Meridia, I think everything else that's Yellow Meridia is one of the sand pits. Oh, that was stressful.
I can go to instant replay and take a look here. Charge beam was at Missile Yellow Meridia False Wall, and Ice Beam was at Super Missile Yellow Meridia.
Wow.
So I think, were they both on the beach then?
No, Charge would have been on the beach. Super Missiles, I think that is right side sand pit? Or that might be left side sand pit. Or
Might
maybe
also be watering hole.
Could also be watering hole. Yellow Meridia actually doesn't help as much as it should. Because so little of it's yellow, but the areas that are very item dense. I think it would say sand pit if it was sand pit.
Yeah, if it was sand pit, it would say sand pit. So I think that Yellow Missile, Yellow Meridia, False Wall, that's up in at least what I'm thinking is the beach, although I could be misnaming that. And then the Super Missile Yellow Meridia, I think, is when you climb all the way up past that false wall and fall down, that there's the two items, one on the left, one on the right. I think it's the one on the right.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
So
going up to the beach could have saved me 10 minutes.
Well, in fairness, nobody has gone up to the beach in this seed, so everybody gets out.
It looks like nobody found a whole lot of E-tanks.
No.
This was just not a healthy seed at all.
It was just in all of the places you didn't go.
True.
Yeah, the sand pits probably were holding all the E-tanks.
True. Portions of Meridia and Norfair probably. Well, I guess Croc was the only part of Norfair. Did I?
Croc did not have E-tanks.
Croc did not have E-tanks.
Who did?
We found that out from Belthasar, who was doing hell runs and went all through Croc looking for Varia suit.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, mad props for anybody willing to do hell runs in this logic.
Mm-hmm.
They are not simple. They are not easy.
And I don't think they're required.
They are not. There's one tiny hell run between the Frog Speedway and Bubble Mountain. There's that one room that can be required if you have an item at the corner missile of Bubble Mountain. That's the only hell run that could ever be required. Oh. Okay, well.
So we have a question in chat for Cheese asking, were you scared about your health to Shine Spark at the escape?
I was not. I tried to Shine Spark the climb, and then I bonked on the bottom platform, and then I got scared about my health because having to try to short charge in the acid with such little health didn't appeal to me. So I just did some wall climbing.
You had full reserves.
I did have full reserves at that point.
Meanwhile, get out your
finished.
GGs, yes.
Oh, GG to Glacio.
Finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 59 seconds.
Oh, man. Well, that was stressful, and that's why I wasn't gonna join this. And then, there were things that happened, and there were drops, and
So what does that make your record at the end of this?
I think I'm still technically 1-1 because I believe the person who dropped, I think I inherit their loss from last round per challenge.
That is correct.
So this would have been
officially you are 1-1. Although as far as your competition in here, since you, I think, joined late, replacing somebody who had bowed out of the tournament, you are 1-0 in terms of your own actual run.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I had fun. That was just a very stressful 10 minutes. And had it gone well the first time, I would not have been stressed. I would have been like, yeah, I'm awesome at Mother Brain too. It turns out I'm not as awesome.
Well.
It finally went well.
Until that catch-up.
Well, And I had forgotten that I had regular bombs so that I could have been blowing up the meatballs the whole time. Because that's where she got me with the ketchup, was I jumped to avoid the bomb, and then when I landed, she just blasted me. I'm like, well, that's...
We have some praise and then some taken back praise from Lady Smail in the chat for you.
All right, well, thank you, Invarial and Piron Burgundy for commentating. Thank you, Music, for tracking. Thank you, Invarial, for getting us set up on Restream at the last minute there. I'm gonna go figure out some dinner. So I love all of you. Follow these runners, follow these commentators and people. I'm out.
All right,
GG to Incroyable.
Some dinner. By going and figure out some dinner, I'm Dad.
That whole gag.
Hey, it's
an oldie bit of good.
Great. GG to Incroyable, 1:15:01. WJG, do you know if Glacio or Croy wants to join us? No Glacio.
Don't worry, we're not offended. Much.
No, at all.
No, at all. I say that tongue in cheek. Yes, if I could give a verbal kappa, I would.
I know.
And no Croy either.
Okay. So we can just talk about Belthasar here, getting ready to face Mother Brain.
And we can also let you know about another matchup coming up a little bit later tonight to fill in a little bit of the time here, as we have, I believe that's Eralis taking on 00713.
0713.
I don't know if it was 00713 or 00713, but either way, they will be facing off at 9 p.m. Eastern, a little more than an hour and a half from now, and I believe that's going to be here on Speedrunners Arena?
I believe so. It's the only race.
It's the only race, so there's no overlap, so we don't have to worry about the other channels here among the Speedrunners Arena networks. Tomorrow, on the other hand, is a whole different story, as it looks like we have 4 races coming your way. One at 11 a.m. Eastern, one at 1 p.m. Eastern, one at 3 p.m. Eastern, and one at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Those are some really nice matches.
They are. We have Prankard taking on Evil Sparky 1 at 11. We have Vibrant Colors taking on Chex Human at 1 o'clock. Strotlog against Phoenix Down 23 at 3 p.m. and Glove taking on Kath at 4 p.m.
That Glove versus Kath match is a reschedule from, I believe, yesterday. Or 2 days ago.
Well, I believe of those, if commentary is needed and a restream is available, I might be able to do that 4 p.m. one. I should be home in time, as I'll be on the radio earlier in the day at noon, from noon to 2. So, IRL stuff. Yes, I don't just commentate here on Twitch, but I also do broadcast things in real life. Looks like Belthasar going for a speed Zeb skip.
Yep.
Why not? If I were in this, Belthasar would be finishing well ahead of me already, so there is that. Yes, chat giving Invarial great props here as a last-minute restreaming change kind of put you on double duty in Varial. So, yes, the accolades greatly deserved.
Well, just doing what I can.
You're like Aperture Science. You do what you must because you can.
For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead.
Most certainly. You picked up what I was putting down there. I appreciate that.
I likes me some Aperture Science.
Absolutely. And a shameless plug.
Oh,
Not that I was intending to go there. But Wednesday evenings, I happen to be streaming my first ever playthrough of Portal 2 on my channel, twitch.tv/FerranBurgundy.
Ooh. Someone in chat who's slightly more knowledgeable about damage than me. Is 60 super missiles enough? I thought it was like 63.
I thought it was 60, but I could be mistaken. If it is just 60, then yeah,
Okay.
you need to not miss here, Belthasar, if you came in with just the 60.
Yep. No misses. And Mother Brain cranes out her head. This is done.
And there is the rainbow beam, and that will pretty much be all but the cutscenes. So yeah, week 2 of the Swiss coming to a pretty abrupt end. After those 4 races tomorrow and the one tonight, just one on Sunday afternoon, and then I imagine there will be some sort of a reveal of the week 3 matchups where you'll have the 2-0 runners facing off against one another, the 1-1s squaring off, and the 0-2s challenging, trying to get their first victory.
That sounds about right.
Amadeus in chat noting you have to race 2-0. It's a good thing I'm not in this because I'd definitely be 0-2 on my way to 0-7. I'd be the
Stop
Bob
stealing my
Uecker of this
record.
tournament. More famous as a commentator than a player. That would be my role.
So what you're saying is during the down week of SMRAT, when everyone has a chance to like recover and stuff, the commentators that didn't play at all in the tournament are going to have to race each other using SMRAT rules. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that, but I'm also not necessarily opposed to that if that actually becomes a thing. Oh, Cheese in chat saying, book it, it is now happening.
We get all of the support staff that aren't racing in the tournament to play against each other.
In the words of Chicago White Sox play-by-play commentator Ken Hawk Harrelson, you can put it on the board. Yes.
This is going to come back to bite the both of us in like 8 weeks.
Oh, please. I know that I'm going to finish dead last, so I'm okay with it. I know my fate is already sealed, so I have no qualms about my position. I apologize for whoever will commentate the race and have to put up with me sticking at it about 2 to 2.5 hours in.
Oh, let's make the good players, like the number 1 and 2 in the bracket, comment on us.
Would it be a commenting, or would it be more or commentating, or more of a of a Mystery Science Theater 3000? Heads. Yeah, where they just sit there and ridicule us the whole time.
Well, this is a family-friendly channel.
Well, I'm not saying that they would use the language or decorum that is used in Mystery Science Theater 3000, just merely the concept. And Belthasar going for an animal
Taunt.
tease? A taunt, maybe? Yeah,
Okay.
going for the taunt. I opened the one door for you. That's not enough. You mean you can't get out this door? Shame on you. And getting the Alcatraz out.
And jumping up to the ship and pressing down.
And there it is. Get out your GGs for Belthasar, who has certainly provided some entertainment and certainly showed off a lot of skill, finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 20 seconds. And I have a feeling it would have been considerably sooner than that if not for perhaps presuming that SMRAT logic was hard logic and going for some deep hell runs into Crocomire and even parts, I believe, of Lower North there.
Yeah, the hell run definitely cost some time.
Yeah, I think even without one of those, I mean, that 12-minute difference would have been a lot slimmer, and I think it would have been very down to the wire.
It occurs to me that the game feed has been silent for the last few minutes, and I apologize to everybody.
Well, apparently, from what we're being told, we won't be hearing from Belthasar as far as an interview, so I think that's gonna just about things up here.
I think so.
So again, tune in right here to this channel in approximately 90 minutes from now as Eralis will be taking on 00713. That'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern here on Speedrunners Arena. And then we have a 4-pack of races coming late tomorrow morning and early to mid-afternoon tomorrow. So that should be rather fantastic. Make sure to give all 4 of our runners a follow here, as they have certainly give you an exhibition of great skill as well as a few bits of entertainment and fun as well. It has certainly been great. Make sure to follow CheeseReaver, Incroyable, Belthasar, and Glacio. And also make sure to show some love to the folks behind the scenes here, our restreamer and co-commentator Invarial, as well as our tracker, Music75. And any last words before we wrap things on up here?
Also, go follow yourself. If you're on Burgundy. If you're on Burgundy, let me try that one more time.
I was gonna get to there eventually.
Yeah, well, I got there first.
I appreciate that. So yes, thank you so much. You can certainly give me a follow. I'll actually be streaming at the conclusion of this. So I'll be doing a little Final Fantasy X, the first time playing through that, because I've never played through that before. So you may want to head on over, but it looks like we're looking to whom there will be a raid. But for all the folks here at Speedrunners Arena, for my co-commentator and restreamer Invarial, and for our tracker Music75, for our runners as well, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, stay classy, my friends, and more importantly, stay safe.
And I'm Invarial saying see you next mission.